So number 2, I made this an awesome formula style. Does anyone want to tell me what that says? It's kind of like a brain teaser. Anyone? Think about it. Think about it. What's the first letter?
U.
What's the next thing?
Greater.
Greater than the sum of your test scores. You are greater than the sum of your test scores, okay? Now, in high school, test scores are so big, and as you guys get older, like next year you'll take the PSATs, it's sophomore year, right? You take the PSATs, then you'll take the SATs, all those sorts of tests, and it's like a big deal, and of course your test scores, I also mean like your GPA, big deal, everybody's all hyped up about it, and I'm not going to say again that that's not important, but what you have to think is you have to think that you are more than that. In fact, I think that it's important to remember, yeah, do awesome on your test scores, get great SATs, whatever, but you have to think in terms of you are a person who has tons of stories to tell about your life. And that's when you get to the point when you're applying to college, you need to be like, okay, these are some stories, some concrete like anecdotes. Like when I speak, like when you guys heard me speak this morning, what I do is I tell stories, right? I tell these like 5-minute sort of stories. Yes? Okay? So that's what you need to be able to do is when you go into your interview, when you fill out your essays and application, you need to think in terms of stories. And what I put as example is my brother, right? He, at Harvard, he's like 200 points below their average SAT score. And like in terms of grades, he did all right in high school, but he didn't have a 4.0. But he still got into Harvard. Why? Because he was able to bring awesome stories to his interview. He rolled up to the interview like wearing his like prom king crown and his like captain of the soccer team band and like all this, and it was kind of maybe over the top, but it went over well. And he went in the interview and he told him stories. These are things I did in high school. This is a cool story, and he wrote about those in his essays as well. But he still didn't really expect to get into Harvard. In fact, it was really funny when he got the acceptance letter in the mail. He actually emailed Harvard and was like, hey guys, I got this acceptance letter from you in the mail. Just wanted to let you know because I think it's a mistake. So maybe you meant to imply, like let in someone else. But they wrote him back and they were like, no, actually, we're glad to tell you you've been accepted to the class of 2009. And so when he goes up there, he goes to the admissions office and he was like, guys, thanks for accepting me. I know I was like way below your SAT average and stuff. He's like, why did you guys accept me? And they told him they have this term there called JAG. That stands for just another genius, okay? And because the fact is, Harvard, believe it or not, could fill their freshman class like 3 times over with just people that have 1600s on their SATs and 4.0 all the way through high school. That's like the kind of caliber of people that are applying. But they don't want to just have a bunch of people that have 1600s on their SATs because that's just not interesting. And so they get these essays of people that are perfect academically, but they aren't well-rounded like we said before, and they haven't found their nest. They didn't have a passion in high school besides just getting good test scores. So that's what they said to Matt is like, we looked at your application and you were not a JAG. Yeah, you did okay in school, but you had these great stories. You had this leadership experience that you did in high school. You had these programs that you started in, the things that you were really passionate about. So that's what I mean by you're more than some of your test scores. You have to find stories and you have to think of yourself as a really unique, passionate person.